This is a United States Kennedy half-dollar coin, and it's worth, well, you guessed it, half a dollar, 50 cents. But this is also a US Kennedy half-dollar coin, and it's worth $5. And this one is worth $13. And, well, you're not going to believe it, but this one is worth over $50,000. If you've got any Kennedy half-dollars lying around, you know, maybe in that old jar of coins that grandma left you, well, you definitely want to watch till the end of this video because I'm going to show you specifically what to look for to tell whether your coin is worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars.
NGC is the sponsor of the Silverpicker YouTube channel, and Whatnot is the sponsor of today's video. Thank you both for your support.
Kennedy half-dollars were first minted in 1964, just a few months after the president was assassinated. Now, back then, all US half-dollars were minted in 90% silver because silver wasn't worth that much. Well, it was worth 50 cents. But today, if you find one of those coins, you're already in the money because just in silver value alone, that coin is worth 11, 12, or 13 bucks. The following year in 1965, all the way through 1970, the US government reduced the amount of silver from 90% to 40% silver in these coins. So instead of being worth 11, 12, 13 bucks, they're worth about $5, which still ain't half bad considering if you find one of these in circulation, which is still possible, you're finding it at a 50-cent face value and you're getting $5 out of it. After 1970, so 1971 and beyond, there's no silver whatsoever in those coins. So yeah, if you find a Kennedy half-dollar dated from 1964 through 1970, you're already set. No matter the condition, no matter anything, because of that silver value, you've got yourself a silver coin and you've locked in some value. So what are you supposed to actually look out for to identify Kennedy half-dollars that are worth more than just a few bucks, right? The ones that are worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Well, I'm going to tell you about two different things to look for specifically, but first, let me just tell you quickly about an app made for coin collectors, or really collectors of anything, and that is Whatnot. If you don't know what Whatnot is an incredible live video auction app in which bidders and sellers come together in real time to buy and sell all sorts of really cool collectibles. Obviously, I'm mostly into coins and precious metals, but they've got everything. Trading cards, sports cards, comic books, video games, even sneakers. Basically, if you collect it, Whatnot has it. And if you use my link, whatnot.com/invite/silverpicker to download the app, you get $15 in Whatnot credit added directly to your account automatically to spend on whatever you want. At all of my auctions, I start every coin, no matter how much it's worth, at $1, and I let the bids go. So it goes for whatever it goes for. But I always have tons and tons of silver coins in my marketplace. That means in my buy it now, right this minute, I have tons and tons of great deals on silver, including Walking Liberty half-dollars for 15 bucks. So I'll do the math for you. If you use my link, whatnot.com/invite/silverpicker to download the app, you get $15 added to your account automatically. Use that to buy a Walking Liberty silver half-dollar coin and you get it for free. That's right, it's a no-brainer. You get your first silver coin absolutely free just by using my link. Don't sleep on this, trust me. Okay, so let's get back to Kennedy half-dollars. There are two really important things to look for when it comes to valuable Kennedy halves. One really general thing and one really specific thing. If you're a coin collector, or frankly a collector of anything, you probably can guess what the general thing to look for is, and that is condition. We're going to look at 5 different Kennedy half-dollars that sold for thousands to many thousands of dollars, and mostly it's due to their incredible condition. Now we're going to talk plenty more about condition throughout the rest of this video, but let's actually start with the first example as that really specific thing to look for. And that is if you flip over the coin to the reverse and you look under the eagle's left leg, normally you'll see 2 letters, F and G. If they're not there, then you may be sitting on a small fortune. FG stands for Frank Gasparo. That's the designer of the Kennedy half-dollar, and his initials are supposed to be there. But in some years, overzealous mint workers may have done a little too good of a job polishing the dies that the coins are stamped from and actually polished away the entire FG initials. So some coins like this one from 1982 did not have the FG, and therefore this guy sold for $2,820. And it's likely that the person who found this just found it in circulation and paid attention where other people didn't. The next example we're going to look at also had some problems during the production process, but this one's more of a real serious error coin. This 1977 Kennedy half-dollar was accidentally struck on a 40% silver planchet. Now, what the heck does that mean? Well, remember I told you that in 1965 through 1970, all Kennedy half-dollars were produced in 40% silver, and everything after that was produced in clad, or not silver at all. But somehow, a blank 40% silver planchet entered the production process in 1977 and had this coin produced. So it was never supposed to be minted in silver, but here it was. And that's why this coin sold for nearly $6,000. $1,000. That is wild. Now, I will admit it is hard to identify this type of error just by looking at it, but there is a foolproof method for figuring it out. So if you think you have a coin from after 1970 that you think might be silver, all you have to do is weigh it. The silver coins weigh a little bit more than their clad counterparts. So the clad coins, this 1977 coin in a normal version where it's clad and not silver, it would weigh 11.34 grams. However, the silver planchet weighs 11.5 grams. So if you have a coin produced 1971 and later, and it weighs 11.5 grams, well, baby, you are in the money. Now, the next coin up is a huge jump in value. This one sold for an insane $31,200. But why? First off, the coin is graded MS69 Ultra Cameo. MS, or Mint State 69, means that the coin is just 1 point away from being a perfect grade. Yeah, coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, not 1 to 100. So MS69 is already an incredible, spectacular grade. But it also has the Ultra Cameo additional designation, which describes the brilliant contrast between the frosted bust in the foreground and the mirror-like finish in the background, which is highly desirable among collectors. Now, the high grade and the Ultra Cameo designation is definitely enough to make this coin valuable, but what makes it so valuable is actually that little SMS additional designation that you see on the label over there. For just a few years in the mid-1960s, the US Mint came out with a special product for coin collectors called Special Mint Sets, or SMS. This is what they looked like. This is what the inside looked like. This is what the outer packaging looked like. They were made with special dies for collectors to have a beautiful strike so that the coins looked excellent. They weren't quite as polished and beautiful as proof coins, but they looked better than business strike coins, so they were somewhere in between. Now, if you found one of these coins out in circulation that somehow had been broken out of one of these sets, you can tell if you compare it to a regular Kennedy half dollar that it is a little bit more shiny and it has a better strike, but it's pretty hard to figure it out. But like I said, if you find one of those in the package at a garage sale, scoop it up if it's a good price, and maybe take a bet, send it off to be graded at NGC, for example, and who knows, you may walk away with a 5-figure payday. To the average American, this next coin that we're going to look at just looks like a shiny Kennedy half dollar. But to the trained eye, like yours is about to be, this coin is a $46,000 payday. This is what's known as the accented hair variety. It's only found on 1964 proof coins, and it's a little tough to identify at first. But if you look closely, the cherry picker's reference states, the accented hair variety is identifiable by the enhanced hairlines in the central area of the hair, just below the part. However, the easiest way to identify the variety is the weak or broken lower left serif on the I in the word Liberty. Definitely check all of your 1964 proof Kennedy half dollars, and if you think you found one, you definitely want to send it in for grading and authentication. And finally, last but not least, this 1964 Kennedy half dollar sold for an insane $57,600. And guess what? There's no error, there's nothing crazy to look for, there's no missing FG. It's just simply in incredibly good condition. And that should be inspiring to you, because if you have some of these Kennedy half dollars that have been put away and stored immaculately for years and years and years, who knows, you may have the next $50,000, $60,000 coin. Why is this coin $57,000 and other good condition ones are considerably less? Well, that's because this is graded at an MS68 star. The star means that this coin is on the high end of the MS68 grade. And why is that important? Because there have been no 1964 Kennedy half dollars to achieve a higher grade. So this is the absolute best condition one that has been found to date. Now, I don't want to misrepresent things and make it sound like it's easy to find one in better condition, because it absolutely is not. There have been tons and tons of coin collectors who have sent in thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Kennedy half dollars to be graded, and none of them except this one has achieved an MS68 star. But that's just so far. That does not mean that somebody sitting here watching this video right now might have a really spectacular example, send it in, and it gets an MS69 and could sell for $60,000 or $100,000 or even $600,000. Really, the sky is the limit. So let's recap everything we've learned about valuable Kennedy half dollars. So these are the coins you want to look for if you want to make money. 1. Any coin from 1964 through 1970 is silver. Remember, 1964 is 90% silver, and 1965 through 1970 is 40% silver. 2, you want to look on the reverse of the coin and see if there's the letters FG. If there's no FG, you're in the money. 3, you want to look for any coin produced with the wrong planchet. So weigh the coins, and if it's the wrong weight, boom, you've got some money. 4, any special mint sets, you want to snap those up. 5, you want to find the accented hair variety. And 6, you want to look for any coin that is in incredible, spectacular condition. So what do you actually do if you find one of these rare coins? Well, you're in luck because you have me. Message me on Instagram at silverpicker, send me a picture, and I'll tell you whether or not you do have one of these coins. If indeed you have a rare, valuable coin, I'll help you figure out how to get it graded and then ultimately what the best plan of action is to sell it. If you learned something from this video, please consider hitting the like button as a little thank you. It really does help me a ton, and it just takes you a moment. If you have additional questions, put them in the comments. I'm sure if you have that question, other people do too, and it'll help everybody learn more by you putting it down there. If you like videos like this, hit the subscribe button. I make videos about coin collecting, precious metals investing, personal finance, and all sorts of other stuff every single week, and I've got a lot more awesome stuff coming down the pike, so stay tuned, and until then, Silver Picker out.
A huge thank you to all of my wonderful patrons. You guys are amazing. If you're not yet a patron and want to become one, the links are below, and I can't wait to meet you in our private Discord server.